What's good, Combat Sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Combat and Kick It with your host, Bando. What are we talking about tonight? Obviously, we got a card to review. Sorry, I didn't get to doing any breakdowns. No breakdowns. I missed out. It was bad. I missed. All right, swing and miss. I needed to get some stuff done, and I didn't. Either way, we back for the review on UFC, 318? UFC 318. We are back with the review on Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. And then also we got some banger announcements that just came out. So we got to talk about them. So let's get into it. Let's smoke. Alright, so UFC 318 was actually a pretty decent card. Prelims, a lot of action, good finishes. The main card, all decisions, but they were all pretty much exciting fights. Every fight had a little bit of steam to it, so I can't be too mad at it. Everything had a little bit of steam. My parlays got their asses kicked, so it's a good thing that I didn't make many videos because I got smoked on the parlays. 0 for 5 on the main card, which is wild because I never really go with favorites, and I went with 4 favorites. 4 favorites. And I knew as soon as Daniel Zellhuber lost to Michael Johnson, it was a wrap for me, right? I knew it was downhill from there. Like, come on, dog. He like 20-14. No hate to Michael Johnson, no. He got the job done. So that just leads me into this main card because that's really what I'm just going to review because I really want to talk about these announcements. But Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Michael Johnson fought a good fight, man. He brought the heat. He brought the heat. He was trying to test this kid. He was definitely trying to bring something that this kid wasn't going to expect, and he did. I think Daniel Zellhuber went into that fight a little overconfident, thinking that he was going to go in there and be able to finish Michael Johnson, seeing Michael Johnson get knocked out the way he has in the past and stuff like that. And Daniel Zellhuber was on a good run, undefeated, and he was looking good. But Michael Johnson went in there, caught him with some good shots, was landing well, was definitely much quicker than him. Daniel Zellhuber clearly shows he's got a lot to work on still in terms of leveling up, in terms of mentality and everything like that with the IQ and stuff. He's got a lot to work on. So, the future's still bright for the kid, but Michael Johnson definitely served him up some humble pie. It wasn't like a fraud check type of thing because he's just a young kid who's kind of on the, come up. But Michael Johnson definitely served him some humble pie, that's for sure. It was a good win by Michael Johnson. Can't even be mad at it. Then you move on to the close fight between Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. Obviously, I wanted Dan Ige to win. I'm always rocking with Dan Ige. 50K he's an exciting fighter, and he looks to get the finish, and that's what he was trying to do in this fight. He was looking to get the finish. He was trying to land that shot, respectfully so, right? You're searching for it. You're pushing for it. You want to land that shot. You were really trying, and he couldn't really find a shot, and Patricio Pitbull's wrestling kind of took over in the fight, just in terms of being able to control at certain moments. And he landed some, he landed some good shots in the later rounds. But I thought Dan Ige fought a good fight. It was close, but I can understand why Patricio Pitbull got the nod. And the dude came in, loses his first fight in the UFC, and turns around with a very quick turnaround. I gotta give him props for that. He's trying to make a statement. He realizes that he's not young, right? So to be coming into the UFC on the late end of your career, you got to make a statement, and you can do it. You only can do it quick. It's like what Michael Chandler did. Even though Michael Chandler hasn't had the craziest success, he still made a big name and a big pop and a big spark in a short period of time, and that's what Patricio Pitbull needs to do. So by him continuously taking fights that could be dangerous, smart move. And it was a good win by him, but damn, I wanted Dan Ige to win that one. Then you move on to Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. Great fight, action-packed. Both slugged it out. Both of them got rocked. What pisses me off the most is Kevin Holland in that last round. Kevin Holland could have finished that fight. Kevin Holland could have finished that fight. He could have won that fight, but he was throwing these flying knees that were distance away. They were slow. They were labored. He was tired, right? It's cool. It's understandable. You're tired. I mean, you've been in a scrap, so I get why you're tired, right? But you're wasting your energy throwing these high knees. You could have gone for the finish. I think he could have got the finish in the late rounds. You know, D-Rob landed some good shots, dropped Kevin Holland. So there was a lot of action in that fight. It was a very good fight, but definitely I understand why D-Rod got it. But man, Kevin Holland could have got the finish if he would have just focused on trying to throw things that mattered and not things that are just outlandish. You know what I mean? Like, you just need to throw things in those moments that matter. You have to pick your shot smart. You had him rocked multiple times. I think he could have got the finish, and he bottled it. Of course, because I had him on the parlay. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Good win by Paulo Costa. Not letting the up-and-comer take the spot, take the shine. Roman Kopylov is a fantastic striker. He's very sharp. He's more of a pinpoint accurate type of person. He's a sharp person, but he's good when somebody's standing right in front of him, not pressuring. Paulo Costa was putting the pressure to him, was landing heavier shots. And I think that really threw Roman off of the rhythm that he's used to be able to land the kicks that he has that are threatening, to be able to land the straight punches that are threatening. He was throwing kind of looping shots. His kicks didn't look very well. They looked labored. It just didn't look like he could find the proper timing to be able to land something on Paulo Costa. Now, he caught him with a couple of decent shots, but nothing crazy. Paulo Costa led the dance majority of the fight, and definitely a one-sided decision. Good win by Paulo Costa because he needs it. He needs to win. He needs to win if he wants to have any type of success in the top 5 of that division. He has to keep winning, and he cannot lose to guys like Roman Kopylov. Not saying Roman's a tomato can or anything like that. Roman's just not up there. He's not in the top 10, not in the top 5. He's not making no noise like that yet. This was going to be his coming out party if he was able to get it done against Paulo Costa, and he wasn't. So, Paulo, great win by not allowing that man to take the slot. You know, you don't want to end up becoming a middleweight gatekeeper. So, good win for Paulo Costa. And then this main event, action-packed main event. It's what we all expected. We knew we were going to get a back-and-forth scrap. We've seen these guys fight multiple times, and not only that, we've seen them fight other people multiple times. We know that these guys are always going to come in for a scrap. I wanted to see Dustin get it done in the final dance, but let me tell you something. When you are going in there with the mindset knowing that you are retiring after this fight, you're not going to put on the best fight. You're not going to put on a performance. You're not going to put on a performance of a championship victory. It's way different. It's way different, and I think Dustin wasn't mentally defeated, but you already take a chunk of victory out of your brain when you already are saying that this is my last fight. And you're letting everybody know. They're giving you all the retirement packages and everything like that. So it sits with him the whole week. He knows he's retiring. He knows this is it. He knows even if he wins, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the fact that you gone out with a win. And I think it just backfires on fighters when they do that. But it was a good fight. Was not the best Dustin Poirier we've seen. It was a quick Max Holloway. I thought Max looked good. I thought Max looked pretty sharp, was landing some good shots. He definitely, the one thing I'll say about Max looked like a guy who was coming off of a loss that wanted to make some sort of statement, right? He didn't want to go in there against Dustin Poirier and have any boring fight or go in there and get rocked. Truth be told, he could have finished that fight in the first round. If you pay attention closely, he could have finished that fight in the first round. He pulled back, understandably so. Either he wanted to have a scrap with Dustin or he didn't want to be the guy that's going to finish Dustin in the first round on Dustin's last night out. You know what I mean? So, think Max could have finished it, though. If it was anybody else and Max would have rocked him like that, I think Max could have got the finish and he would have got the finish. But it was a good win by Max. Max definitely probably took it. If it wasn't 3-2, it was 4-1. I mean, it was not a very close fight. Max definitely landed more in terms of volume, landed more in terms of damage, dropped Dustin Poirier, which is something that, you know, nobody expected to see. And Dustin got dropped, sat right down. Dustin also sat Max down. You know, he did drop Max. There was moments where Dustin could have had success. It just did not seem like the best Dustin. His rhythm didn't seem right. His hands didn't seem right. The combinations weren't there. Max was working the body. Max was definitely moving with the combinations. And then obviously in the fifth round when he pointed to the ground, Max went all out, was slugging it, swinging. He definitely was the quicker man in those exchanges, and Dustin forced to clinch up. He had no other choice. He didn't want to end up like Justin Gaethje, so he clinched up. But good fight, and honestly, it's better to go out that way with a loss that was a good fight than to go out getting KO'd or something like that. So we as MMA fans, we've been watching Dustin Poirier for a long time. He has got one of the most stacked resumes. He's fought everybody all the way from WEC to now, and you can't not have respect for the dude. And it's one of those things where I don't know how many more fighters we're gonna get to experience like Dustin Poirier's, the Justin Gaethje's, the Tony Ferguson's, like these people that go in there with absolute scraps. I don't know how many people we're going to see with that, but Dustin has given us a ton of good fights. He's been in a lot of wars, and obviously he doesn't have to do it anymore. He's sitting pretty financially, and why would you want to get beat up anymore if you already achieved all the goals you can, and there's the one goal that you unfortunately could not achieve. But in a way, if there's going to be anything that's better than being a champion, I would say it could be being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I guarantee you Dustin Poirier one day will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So simple as that. But it was a good win by Max Holloway, and Max called out Ilya, and who knows, at 155 it's a potential possibility. We don't have anything that's for certain at 155 right now, so you never know. You never know. That's Max has already beaten two top guys in 155, right? So does he deserve the title shot? I don't know if he deserves the title shot, but the interest behind the fact that he's lost to Ilya at 145, it was the only person that's ever knocked him out. He could get this revenge at 155, take the belt at 150. You know, it's a very interesting story. You could definitely build with that, but I don't know if it's 100% the move to make right now. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Paddy Pimblett's in talks, obviously, because there's a lot behind that in Ilya. There's obviously Arman, who's sitting in the wins, because we know that Arman should have been fighting for the championship before. And then there's always talks of Justin Gaethje. So we'll see what happens. But that leads me into the announcements that Dana White came out with. We got a real heavyweight title fight between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. I'm honestly I'm just happy that the heavyweight division is back now moving again. I don't really think that Cyril Gane deserves a title shot. Third chance at it, maybe third time's a charm. Let's see if he can do it. But it's one of those things where the man doesn't deserve a title shot. He barely got that win over Volkov. That was so close of a win. He didn't deserve no title shot. But we know that there's a little bit of history between him and Aspinall, and the fact that they have both pointed at each other as guys to duck. They said that they both basically ducked each other. I would say that Cyril Gane's probably the one that ducked Tom Aspinall. It's not impossible. Maybe Tom didn't want to fight Cyril at the early part of his career, but either way, it's happening now. Not only did we get that announced, we also got Alex Pereira gets his rematch for his UFC Light Heavyweight Championship against Magomed Ankalaev, the current champion. Can he get the belt back? We could only hope. Shama. Listen, man. Everybody stopped with that shit as soon as he lost. Fake ass fans. Y'all busted. Hashtag Shama. And then on that same card, this is supposed to be the Las Vegas card in October. On the same card, my boy Corey Sandhagen is finally getting a title shot. Against Merab. And he's about to get smoked. And I hope he doesn't, but I feel as if he is. I'm not getting behind any of my favorite fighters anymore. I'm not saying they're going to win. No, y'all all getting smoked. If you're one of my favorite fighters, sorry, you're getting smoked. You're going to get... I hope not, though. I hope Corey puts up a good fight. I could see him having the IQ to put up a challenging fight against Merab, but Merab's cardio, Merab's pace, that man's going to take over and get the W. He's just too hard to beat. I think it's just simple as that. And then also on that same card, Yuri Petroska versus Khalil Roundtree. We about to get chaos. We are about to get absolute chaos, and I cannot wait. That fight is going to be exciting. So those three fights back to back to back. We got a stacked card in October, and guess what? It's not in Abu Dhabi. It's in Las Vegas. Thank you. I could actually see this fight. I'm all in. Let's go. But everybody, that's it for this episode. I apologize for the inactivity as of recently, but I just been busy. We back. We got episodes. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out so you can enjoy that shit too, because you will if you just subscribe and you click the bell notification button. You will enjoy that shit as well. I promise you. I promise you. If you made it to this part of the video, you made it all the way this far, you might as well subscribe. Simple as that. Appreciate you for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando is out. Peace.